the end of the Second World War, George Orwell, one of my heroes, he made a distinction. He raised the same question: what constitutes a nation? And he divided people into two kinds, what we would today call good nationalists and bad nationalists. The bad nationalists, according to him, were the people who saw the nation in terms of power. And their whole thing was that we should be superior to others. And so the nation was a relative statement. And so, in fact, they saw the whole rather than, and they forgot that there were parts of the whole, like minorities, etc. The good nationalists, according to him, were the people who, they both, the good and the bad nationalists, loved their country. So they also loved their country, like the good, bad nationalists, but they're not really so much concerned with power as with their history of their country, the geography, where they grew up. They were interested in the ideas that their country had brought forth. And in fact, they often wondered why should their loyalty stop at the border of their country, and why couldn't it cross the border of the country? So, when I think about it, I think I'm on the side of the good nationalists. And I think Minya has actually, this is a very important project which she has undertaken, because every generation really should rediscover India. We had Nehru's discovery of India, and that was the Nehruvian model. And we had Savarkar, who discovered his India. And today we seem to be polarized between these two models. There was Savarkar, Golwalkar, and the lot. And then, but my point is that it's 70 years or more since these two people wrote their books. And it's time that we questioned this polarity that they have created.
It has been questioned, hasn't it?
Well, yes, but I mean, I think we need, every generation, what my point is, every generation should write the discovery of India. Because India is changing. India, as you quote Benedict Anderson, Benedict Anderson says, the nation is a daily performance. Every day.
You're as good as your last.
Is a daily performance, performed on Republic TV or whatever. Anyway, what appeals to me is neither territory or people, but ideas. And frankly, what I find exciting and what I've found exciting in the last dozen years or so is to have gone back to those mental experiments that people made, which we call the Upanishads or some of the Vedic texts. And in these mental experiments is where I feel a sense of excitement. And these people, what makes them so interesting, and let me just tell you a couple of these experiments. So, in the Judeo-Christian tradition, in the Bible, it says, in the beginning was light. God said, let there be light in Genesis. In the Rig Veda, in the beginning, one of the creation myths is, in the beginning was desire. Kama. The word kama. Now the word, and these people then took that idea and realized that kama was the source of all action. It was the source of creation. I mean, kama was in fact, the Rig Veda says, in the kama, the cosmos was born from the seed of desire in the mind of the one.
And the Buddha goes on to say it's the root of all problems.
The Buddhists say the root of all. So we already have our karma pessimists and we have our karma optimists. And the karma optimists are the ones who raise it to one of the aims of life. Now let me just give you, in the same hymn, in the same verse, there is a discussion going on where they're asking the question, well, you know, we really don't, the beginning was darkness, and so there were no gods. So how was the world, how was the universe created? And they say, well, one of them says, let's ask the Brahmins. But the other fellow says, no, the Brahmins always disagree, so there's no point. And then the other fellow says, let's ask gods. Oh, but the gods came afterwards too. So what was there in the beginning? And in the beginning, he finally says, this fellow, they both agree that we don't know. Now here is the holiest of the holy texts. These were mental experiments, but we made them the holy texts. And here is a text which is saying that we don't know. So this skepticism, to me, primordial skepticism, is one of the most exciting things that I have come across. So that's
You want to say something?
I wanted to say something because I've